Biology Part 185. Well, transpiration has got environmental conditions, and we discuss them one by one. Say, for instance, relative humidity. Number one, relative humidity. Well, the rate of water loss depends on the difference in concentration of the water molecules in the substomatal spaces and in the air outside. High relative humidity reduces water loss. Number two, wind and air currents. The movement of air increases the rate of water loss from the leaves by carrying away the molecules of water vapor, thus reducing the relative humidity of the air at the leaf surface. Number three, altitude. At high altitudes, atmospheric pressure is decreased sufficiently to cause an increase in the rate of transpiration. Number four, temperature. Molecules move faster in warm air, hence the rate of evaporation and transpiration are increased. Number five, light. Light has no effect on the rate of evaporation from an atmometer, but in a plant it stimulates the opening of stomata and consequently increases the transpiration. The effects of light and temperature are complex and interrelated and will be discussed in more detail shortly. Number six, water availability. If soil water is in short supply, the stomata closes and the transpiration is reduced. The upward flow of the water and the dissolved nutrients in the conducting cells of the xylem due to the suction pressure created by transpiration is called transpiration stream. The pulling force is entirely passive in origin, and that is, the transpiration does not require ATP and is not affected by the metabolic inhibitors. The tension theory is not believed to provide a satisfactory explanation for the of the transpiration pull even for large trees. Water molecules are polar and therefore attract each other. This is called cohesion. The cohesive forces generated are strong enough to allow water to be pulled upward under tension for considerable distances without the water column breaking. In addition, water molecules are attracted by adhesion forces to the sides of the capillary tube so that the taller columns of the water can be supported. What is the proposed, therefore, is that number one, the plant xylem vessels constitute a series of continuous tubes, each supporting a water column which extends from the roots up into the leaf veins. Number two, the cohesive and adhesive properties of the water molecules ensure that the columns do not break. And number three, the tension required to raise the water columns against gravity is provided by transpiration at the leaf surfaces. The site of the water evaporation is interface between the mesophyll cells of the leaf and the intercellular air spaces. Water vapor resulting from the evaporation diffuses through the gaps between the cells until it accumulates in the substomatal spaces. If the stomatal pores are open, the water vapor diffuses out into the atmosphere. Evaporation at the mesophyll cell surface produces tension in the xylem vessels in the following way. When water leaves are pyroplast of the mesophyll cell, the cell content becomes relatively more concentrated and the water potential of the cell becomes more negative. This allows the cell to make good its water loss by taking water directly from the neighboring cells Symplast pathway or by osmosis from the extracellular fluid apoplast pathway. In either case, the water potential gradient is set up so that the water is drawn from the xylem vessel to the leaf veins.